Mind you, I've been paying this agent 5% of my wages. Think about it. He didn't get me the trial. He didn't do anything for me, but he was requiring 5%. He was acquiring 5% of my wages, which just didn't sit right with me. You know what I mean? I'm there sweating, blood and tears on the pitch, and you're earning money from my wages. It wasn't like I was earning millions of pounds, but at the end of the day, it was my money I was earning, and I'm forcibly having to pay you because of the contract I've signed. Do you know what I mean? So by all means necessary, I just wanted to end this contract with this agent because I can't relate to him. He just feels like he's a man in the moment who will only be there for me on my highs and won't be there for me on my lows. So I just needed to get out of this contract. Hey guys, how you all doing? And welcome to Football Stories by Derek Asamoah. And in these videos, I just basically explain to you my football career. I just tell you stories about my football career. Sometimes they're high, sometimes they're low. The things I went through, just generally talk about the experience I've had as a professional footballer. And today, I just really want to talk about my first experience with a football agent. A lot of stuff have been said about agents, that they're bad, that they're good, that you need them. In the previous video I explained to you who agents are, what they do, how they earn their money, and all the good stuff. So if you want to go and check out that video, you're more than welcome to. But in this video, I want to talk about my first personal experience with a football agent and how it came about and what it was like basically. So where do I start? So my first experience with a football agent was when I was at an academy called Protec. It was just basically an academy where boys or players from all over the country who'd been released by professional clubs that want a second chance in football. Basically, that's what was sold to us as is somewhere where you can come. It's not professional or anything. It hasn't got any affiliation with any professional club. It was just basically a place where you can come, train and do your education just like you would if you was at an academy, if you was doing your scholarship, for example. So it just replicates that. And whilst I was there, there was an agent there. I'm not going to say his name. There was an agent there that I think all the boys or most of the boys signed with. I think it was part of their signing process that if you join Protec, you're going to sign with this agent. So I know nothing about football. I've never seen a contract in my life. I don't really know what agents are about, what they do. Okay, so I went along with it, just like most of the other players. I signed with this agent and I say, okay. So obviously I'm a no one, and the agent's not going to put his time in me to try and find me clubs or try and do his due diligence as my representative to do what's right for me. He's not going to do that. He's got 60 players or whatever that have all signed to him. If one or two get offered a trial or even make it, that's when he will come into play or whatever. And it's nothing against him. That's just his job. It's nothing against him. I don't expect it because I've done nothing in the game so far. My relationship started moving properly when I managed from the Protec Academy. I managed to secure a trial for Leicester City, and I've explained in previous videos that I did really well in the trial, and I thought I should have got a contract. And somehow I thought the agent had a major part to play in the success of my trial or the success of me getting a contract, because I felt that I did everything in my power. I played well, I was scoring every game. So in a sense, I thought that he failed me a bit, because the feedback I was getting from the coaches, the feedback I was getting from the managers or even the players around the place, the feedback I was getting was very positive, and the coach was very positive towards me, that I had a chance for getting a contract. And at some point, he even came to me and said that they're willing to offer you this, that, and how do you feel about it? And I was very happy about it. And then for all that to vanish into thin air, that kind of started ringing alarm bells in my head that what the hell went on? 1 minute I'm getting a contract and the next minute I'm not getting a contract. So what's going on? So I was really young, so I didn't really know how to approach the situation. So I just took it for what it is and said, do you know what? The trial wasn't successful. and the agent had nothing to do with it. But the older I got, the more I started thinking deeper and deeper into it, that maybe he did have, I'm not saying he did, but maybe he did have a part to play in me not getting a contract, or maybe, I don't know. But that was my first experience with this particular agent I'm talking about. So anyway, the trial with Leicester City obviously didn't work out, and I was left. I didn't hear from the agent again. I was left in limbos. I didn't know what to do. You understand? So I managed to secure another trial, not through Protect, but just through a friend of mine. Managed to secure another trial to Northampton Town, where I did well, and I managed to get a contract with Northampton Town. So for whatever reason, this agent came out of the woodwork from nowhere and started calling me and stuff when I signed. He wasn't even there for me to sign the contract or anything. Started calling me and be like, yeah, Derek, congratulations on your move. You know, I'm here for you. I can assist you in whatever you need. As your agent, I can help you with this. I can help. So I'm thinking, my agent? I don't have an agent. So according to my contract, because the Leicester City trial was in the same year as the Northampton trial, so obviously I did still have a contract with him that I totally forgot about. So he started messaging me and calling me and telling me that he's going to represent me, he's going to do his best for me. Then he started turning up at my games and started chatting to me. So I got a bit comfortable and started, you know what harm can it do? You know, what harm can it do having an agent? So I started chatting to him on a regular, and we started to build an understanding, should I say, okay? But it wasn't anything spectacular. But at the same time, I really felt a type of way about it. Maybe I shouldn't have let my emotions get the better of me or whatever. I was feeling this type of way about it, like, hold on, you wasn't, like, after the Leicester City trial, I didn't hear anything from you. And all of a sudden, I signed for, my first professional contract, which you weren't there. You're coming here telling me that you're my agent and you want to act on my behalf. And I let it run for a few months. I let it run for probably nearly to the end of season, but I wasn't really comfortable with it. And at the same time, I was talking to another person, another agent, that he was up and coming, he was starting out, and I was speaking to him and I was explaining to him what is going on, that I don't really trust this person, I don't know him from nowhere. And he asked me, have you got a contract with him? Apparently I've got a 2-year contract with him that I don't know from nowhere. But this agent was very, I liked how he talked. He was from my area. He's up and coming. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think I was his first client. So I really liked what he said and what he stood for, and it felt like he was a part of me, a part of my journey, because I'm from nowhere starting out in my career, and he's coming up as well. He's speaking all the right things. He's coming up from educated mindset. I can feel his smartness. He's clever, and he can relate to my struggles. I can relate to where he wants to be. So we formed a very good friendship, and he was helping me along. If I was having problems, I was calling him instead of my agent. So the next phase is like, what do I do? Because I really like this guy, and he's managed to secure other players as well. The only way I can sign with him is if I end my contract with this particular agent. Mind you, I've been paying this agent 5% of my wages. Think about it. He didn't get me the trial. He didn't do anything for me, but he was requiring 5%. He was acquiring 5% of my wages, which just didn't sit right with me. You know what I mean? I'm there sweating, blood and tears on the pitch, and you're earning money from my wages. It wasn't like I was earning millions of pounds, but at the end of the day, it was my money I was earning, and I'm forcibly having to pay you because of the contract I've signed. Do you know what I mean? So by all means necessary, I just wanted to end this contract with this agent, because I can't relate to him. He just feels like he's a man in the moment who will only be there for me on my highs and won't be there for me on my lows. So I just needed to get out of this contract. So I arranged a meeting with him and said to him that, listen, I've come to the conclusion that I don't really want a football agent. I don't want you to represent me. I don't want no one to represent me. I don't feel comfortable paying you this amount of money. I don't feel comfortable with you as my agent. I want us to come to an amicable end. I want you to end the contract. I don't want anything to do with you as my agent. I don't want you representing me no more, basically. So I left it like that with him, and then he said, but at the end of the day, Derek, we've got a contract, you have to honour your contract. I'm like, but is that all you care about? This is my first year professional in the game, okay? And all you care about the contract. So how can I get out of this contract? He's like, well, you have to pay me my 2 years that you would have had to pay me if I was still acting as your agent. So I'm like sitting there thinking, are you for real? I'm like, no, I'm not going to pay you this money. I want to end this contract now, okay? I want us to come to a mutual agreement to you walk away from this contract, I walk away from this contract. We both go and do our own thing. I don't need you, you don't need me. So let's just cut our losses and just walk away. And he says, sorry, Derek, I can't do that. A contract's a contract, and you have to pay me what's remaining on your contract. So you have to pay me for the duration of the year or year and a half, whatever I had left on the contract. So you have to pay me that. I said, I'm not going to pay you it. End of story. Goodbye. I'm not going to pay you it. Next thing you know, he's sending me court documents that he's threatening to take me to court and stuff. And I'm like thinking, is this guy for sure? You know what I mean? I've just signed Pro 1920 and you're taking me to court for something you haven't attributed to. Do you have any shame? You know? Oh, I just couldn't believe it. I told the agent, like, what should I do? That my new agent that I was about to sign with, like, what should I do? I'm in a pickle here. Legally, I have to still pay this guy. I've asked him to mutually cancel the contract, but he's more interested in lining out his pocket. He doesn't care about me, and I was right about it. Any decent man or any decent person would have been like, do you know what? I understand where you're coming from. Wish you all the best, okay? Wish you all the best with your career. And I would have done exactly the same, wish him all the best in his career. He's more interested in lining his pocket, which was really, really sad. So to cut a long story short, I had to somehow come up with the money. I can't remember the figure, but it was quite a substantial amount. At the end of the day, I had to pay this agent, I had to come up with the money and pay this agent and buy myself out of the contract to be able to get rid of him, which was unbelievable, I just couldn't believe what has happened. So that alone put me off agents, and I was even in my mind thinking about, should I sign with this new agent or should I not? It was just played on my mind like, wow, this is such a dirty sports and dirty organization. Not all footballers agents are the same, but this one put a really bad experience, and it made me think about football agents in a different way and how sneaky and slimy. So guys, I just couldn't believe that this agent made me pay and made me buy myself out the contract that I signed when I was a no one, literally. Do you know what I mean? That put me off agents so badly, and I was even nervous even signing with this new agent that I was about to sign with. But then you have to put your trust in someone, and I had to give this new agent a chance to see what it's made of. But this left a very bitter taste in my mouth about agents, and I just couldn't believe what this agent put me through. And I would not wish that on anyone, especially when you're up and coming and trying to make a name for yourself in the game. Just be careful. I know no matter what stage you are in your career, just be careful with the contracts you sign. It's very important. I wasn't aware of it. I just signed a contract because this agent, he can get you here. So many promises. Do you know what I mean? When I first signed a contract without knowing anything. So if you can involve your parents, I never involved my parents in any of these because unfortunately my parents weren't really that interested in football and didn't really invest enough time in what I was doing about football. But if you can have an adult there, or even my first professional contract I signed by myself, if you can have someone to look over it and always make sure you have someone's second opinion, don't just sit there and sign anything, because as soon as you turn 18, which I was, I'm responsible for whatever I sign. So my advice to anyone who's thinking about signing with an agent is really get to know them, really like understand what they stand for, do background checks on them, see if anyone else know them. Just Google them and see who they are. Just get as much information as you can about the agent you're about to sign with. Otherwise, you can find yourself in an even worse situation than what I was. The only saving grace is that it was the start of my career and I wasn't earning crazy amount of money. You understand? So it's very, very important you check out what you sign, and there should always be a break clause, or there should always be a way, one way or another, you can get out of the contract. All right. So that's my piece of advice to you. And guys, that's my story about the first agent I came in contact with, the first agent that I ever had. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. Unfortunately, it was a really bad experience for me. But I'd rather have had that experience at the start of my career, which was unfortunate, than just opened my eyes up and made me a lot more smarter about what I do in terms of signing contracts, in terms of signing contracts with agents or with any other thing. You understand? So it was a blessing in disguise, and I learned a good lesson from it. Okay, so don't trust every smile you see, because they got that smile in it. So don't trust every smile you see. Use your intuition. Your heart always knows. You can feel the energy. You can feel the energy, and from someone when you talk to them, just like I feel that energy from this new agent. Sorry, I keep saying new agent because I don't like to use names and stuff. That sign, but I felt the energy, and we had we had a good relationship. We had a positive outcome. We had a positive relationship, right? So guys, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something from it. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you like these videos, please like it as well. And if you're new here, make sure you subscribe and turn on that notification, because the next video I make might be a very important video for you to watch on your journey to achieving greatness. All right, so like I said, follow me on my Facebook, follow me on my Instagram, and let's talk there. And any questions you have, make sure you ask, and I'll make sure I try to answer all the questions you have. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.